Hi everybody, we're going to carry on with the binomial expansion. So you should have this booklet from before what we were doing before Christmas. So if you remember, before Christmas we just started looking at the notation and we went through what this meant and how to use this in our calculators. You will not need to use this today. We will be just using our calculators to do it. This binomial expansion looks really complicated, but once you get into a little routine of doing it, it is just a process. So we'll start with example 4. Like we did before Christmas, we said what A is, what B is and what N is, just to help us. A is what is here, which is 3. B is what is here, which in this case is minus 2x, so just be careful with that. There's a negative and we're going to use brackets there, and N is 5. So we're going to put this into this expansion. So we've got A to the power of N. So that's going to be 3 to the power of 5 plus. Now we've got a notation here and I'm going to leave it like that. So it's going to be 5, 1. But that means 5C1 in your calculators. You can write it like that or you can write it like that. That is completely up to you. So that's that part of it. Then we've got A to the power of N minus 1. Well, if that one was 5, that one is going to be 4. Remember, we looked at the patterns. The A's went down, the B's went up. So there is minus 2x, and it is just to the power of 1. You can put a 1 there so we can check the 5s like we talked about previously. Then we've got 5C2. And if we look at it here, it's going down again. It doesn't show you all of the terms in this. But once you've done the first few, you see the pattern. So that's 3 to the power of 4. This will be 3 to the power of 3. The minus 2x will be squared. Next part, 5C3. 3 will be squared because that will be going down. Minus 2x will now be to the power of 3. Next term will be 5C4. 3 to the power of 1, because it was 3 squared there, so 3 to the power of 1 here. The minus 2x will now be to the power of 4. And if you remember, the last one will be just b to the power of 5, like the first one was a to the power of 5. So that'll be minus 2x to the power of 5. So we just need to carefully put this in our calculator. So 3 to the power of 5 in our calculator, 243. So in our calculator is going 5C1, I'll just write it out here for you, so 5C1 times 3 to the power of 4 times minus 2. So don't forget that minus 2, you might even want to put it in brackets when you put it into your calculator. That will give you minus 810x. We do the same here, we put this in our calculator. Be careful, this minus 2 is squared. So just be careful with that. Minus 2 is squared. So when we put that in our calculator, we get 1080 x squared. Next one we get minus 720 x cubed. Next one we get plus 240 x to the power of 4 and minus 32 x to the power of 5. Remember, we talked about this previously. When we have a minus here, the powers of x that are odd will be the negative ones, because all of the ones that are even, it will have got rid of the negatives because of the double negative rule. So hopefully you're okay with that. You don't have to write out what A, B and N are, but if it helps you, please do. Work through the patterns. So once you get it started, the pattern is quite obvious. So for that particular expansion, you had to do all 5 terms. That will not always be the case, which you'll see on the next example.